Hi, I'm Myatt, and welcome to part 2 of my video series on effective interpersonal communication. Today's topic is listening for understanding. I found this to be the foundational skill upon which all other effective communication skills depend. Listening for understanding is making the choice to arise out of the biases and defensiveness of the ego into the higher, more inclusive, loving, and neutral point of view of the indwelling spirit. We never listen to anyone without a perspective. So we are either listening from the perspective of our ego and taking guidance from that system of thought, or we're choosing to listen from the perspective of spirit and allowing a higher perspective to guide us. The perspective of the ego at its deepest core is anchored in fear and separation. So it's a guide that's automatically defensive and judgmental. When we are listening from ego, it's impossible to connect. The perspective of the spirit is anchored in love, compassion, inclusivity, and forgiveness. When we're listening from that perspective, we're able to create a safe space for communication and connection to happen. It's important to know that listening for understanding does not require us to agree with what the speaker is saying. Our intention is simply to be fully present, to listen deeply, and basically try to understand what is going on with that person. How are things adding up for them? What is their mental or emotional algebra at the moment? And basically to just sit there and care, to be present. This is such a healing experience for people to actually be heard, that many miracles arise from the experience for both parties. Time and again, I have seen people move out of their painful conclusions, their rigid bias, and their painful interpretations simply by having the opportunity to bring their experience out into the clear light of day. There's something quite liberating about that experience when they're able to do that with another person who does not become combative or argumentative or try to fix or manipulate us into thinking differently, but simply sits there with an open heart and mind and holds space for us. It's as if a burden is lifted off our shoulders or a veil is lifted from our eyes. And this enables us then to move into also this higher point of view where new thoughts and new ideas can come in. The ability to begin to see things differently becomes possible. And the magic goes both ways, okay? So the listener also experiences a miracle when they choose to move up into this expanded point of view. They also experience growth, and they also experience the difference between listening from their ego, which is going to be full of buttons and defensiveness and a need to assert its own point of view. Having this other experience of moving up into this higher perspective, it's just so much calmer and more pleasant than the ego experience. And in addition to that, it opens the mind. We actually have the ability to begin to see things from a much broader perspective. We begin to think creatively, and we begin to find new ways of connecting, co-creating, and problem solving with people when we start from this higher point of view. Just like Einstein said in one of his famous quotes, you can't solve a problem at the level where the problem has occurred. You have to go into a higher point of view, to find your way out of that maze. A Course in Miracles calls this experience that is created through listening for understanding a holy instant. And learning how to move into a holy instant builds holy relationships, which means that they are inclusive, they connect, they're effective, and they're fulfilling. So if you'd like to learn more about listening for understanding, I hope you'll join me in my spiritually centered interpersonal communication skills class, which is going to be starting in October. You can find out more about the class at my website, janetmyatt.com. Just go to the class page, or you can click on the link below in the description. If you like this video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up or a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.